Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Inside KISD Student Produced News. I'm Jaylani Farmacerosa.
And I'm Eliel Santiago. Thanks for joining us. On this week's episode, we'll talk about the Texas Thespians Festival and our national qualifiers in this district.
We'll also talk about JROTC students and their Christmas wreath making for veterans and all this and more on Inside KISD. Before we hit Thanksgiving's break, KISD Theater Department headed to Grapevine and competed in many theater-based competitions, from musical auditions to technical theater scenarios. Over 20 kids in KISD across all 5 high schools managed to score a superior score and advance to nationals. Chaparral High School received a total over $1 million in scholarships and had 2 all-state actors. Killeen High School's only student managed to qualify for nationals. Great work, Fine Arts.
Speaking of theater, our very own AV2 student Jaylani Farmacerosa headed to Shoemaker and gave us a sneak peek of their performance of Mean Girls the Musical.
What is the purpose of doing a play? It's a fun question. It gives you a chance to tell a story, okay? Whether it's a story that you are experiencing for the first time or a story that you might be familiar with. It also gives the opportunity to tell that story to other people who maybe relate to the story or maybe hadn't thought of the story in that particular way.
I think she just realizes at the end that she doesn't need to change who she is, that she can just be herself. She doesn't need to fit into the stereotypes and all that. I just grew up watching a lot of television, and then I didn't really have any interests like others growing up that around me, so I just thought, I want to be the people on TV. So honestly, I just try to just do my best, and it just happens. I honestly don't really feel what I'm doing in the moment. It just happens. And
So my main role with helping with the play is really going over with everyone, seeing what they need during the show, helping out with any complications, quick changes. I also, now that I have my ASM, my assistant stage manager, I'm able to assign stuff they can do during the show while I'm also being busy calling. Calling is also a big part of what I do, because I make sure lights know what they're doing, make sure they got everything for whenever we're changing scenes or what preset they need to have, make sure they have that straight, and also I make the musical run more smoothly. This really does help with a lot of skills on my part being backstage, so it's a learning experience for me, and I like that part in my job.
JROTC students went over to the annual Wreaths for Veterans event and created wreaths from scratch. They were taught how to make them and then got the chance to make them on their own. After they were all made, they went down to the cemeteries and placed them on headstones of veterans. JROTC teachers said it was a way to give back to those who served us then. Many students enjoyed it and can't wait for next year to do it again.
AV2 student Jaden Bradley gives us a sneak peek into our very own KCC middle school tours. Every month at the KISD Career Center, the halls come alive as more than 300 7th graders step inside for a first look at their future. From 9:30 to 11:30 a.m., students rotate through programs like cosmetology, audio-video production, and dozens more. Each stop along the way giving them just a few minutes to observe, ask questions, and collect information. Career Center students guide their tours, reminding students to stay focused as they move from one program to the next. The goal is simple: help these soon-to-be high schoolers understand the programs of study available, so that when it's time to build their 4-year plans and choose an endorsement, they can make confident, informed decisions. For 7th graders across Killeen ISD, these tours are more than a field trip. They're the first step towards their future.
Since it's the holiday season, here are 5 must-see movies to watch before the new year. Coming in at number 5 is Arthur's Christmas. Arthur is the black sheep of the family, but when one kid is left without a Christmas gift, he and his grandpa rush to give her the gift before Christmas morning. This is such an underrated Christmas movie that puts an interesting spin on the question of how Santa gets all the gifts to the children in time. I gave this movie a 3 out of 5 stars. Number 4 goes to Home Alone. We follow young Macaulay Culkin as he is left home alone and is tasked to defend his home from intruders. This is a comedic and timeless Christmas movie, though at some moments it does drag. I rated this a 3 out of 5 stars. Number 3 is going to Elf. We follow Buddy, who is a human who grew up in the North Pole as an elf, but leaves to find his dad and help his dad get on the nice list. I grew up watching this movie every Christmas morning, but there are certain scenes that I can't help but cringe at. So I give this movie a 3.5 out of 5 stars. Coming in at number 2 is The Polar Express. We follow a young boy who doesn't believe in Santa but gets invited onto the Polar Express, where he goes on adventures and gets into trouble before he eventually meets Santa. I rate this movie a 4 out of 5 stars. Coming in at number 1 is The Holiday. After just being dumped, Iris decides to leave England for the sunny state of California and house swap with Amanda, who just wants a holiday getaway. Both women fall in love with local people, creating a perfect holiday meet-cute. This is not only one of my favorite Christmas movies, but also one of my favorite rom-coms. Hopefully you find one of the 5 movies interesting for this holiday season, and have a Merry Christmas.
And now over to Brandon Smith for The Loop.
Thank you, Elio. I'm Brandon Smith, and this is The Loop, keeping you in the loop with KISD's upcoming events and weather. First, for all parents of 4th and 5th graders, mark your calendars for Saturday, January 10th, because we're hosting a free elementary string camp at JDA Middle School. From 9 a.m. to noon, students get the chance to try out string instruments, learn basic skills, and play music alongside friends. And no experience or instrument is required. If you have any questions, email Amy Bennett, KISD's Assistant Fine Arts Director, at amy.bennett@KilleenISD.org. It's a great chance for kids to discover the joy of music. Also, coming soon, the library at Nolan Middle School is hosting cocoa, candy canes, and global holidays. They're inviting guest readers from the community to share holiday stories, family traditions, or folktales. If you're interested in volunteering and sharing your Yuletime traditions or reading a story to students, reach out to Marissa Ocampo at marissa.ocampo@KilleenISD.org. And don't forget, the Killeen High School Dances Department First ever winter showcase is coming up Thursday, December 18th at 6:30 p.m. at the KHS Auditorium. The Kangarettes, JV Joeys, KHS dance classes, and special guests will hit the stage. Tickets are just $5 and available online, and trust me, you won't want to miss it. Great weather the rest of this week. You can expect a fairly mild week ahead. Daytime highs should hover in the low to mid 60s with overnight lows into the upper 30s to mid 40s. Skies are likely to stay mostly clear to partly cloudy with the chance of modest rain. So if you are heading to events this week, light jackets or sweaters should do the trick. That's the week ahead at Killeen ISD. Be sure to mark your calendars, spread the word, and get involved. I'm student journalist Brandon Smith, and remember, stay informed, stay involved, and stay in the loop. Have a great week. Back to you, Jaylani.
Thank you for watching Inside KISD student-produced television. For Elio Stanciago, our crew backstage, and all of us here at the Career Center, I'm Jaylani Farmasrosa. We'll see you next time on Inside KISD.
Welcome to the Killeen Career Center, the best place in Killeen ISD where you can start building your future with special courses like graphic design, audiovisual production, cosmetology, automotive technology, welding, and so much more. Find out more about KCC on the district website, www.KilleenISD.org. And remember to dream big, work hard.